Hey fam, this is Breezy Gipson from the Breeze team. How would you like to see an online platform that brings you people who've already indicated that they're interested in your particular type of business? Whether it's your music you're selling, hip-hop clothing, you got a restaurant or a cafe, or if you're an entrepreneur or agent for a business. Visit me at breeze2cheese.com. That's using the number 2, breeze2cheese.com, or click my bio link on my Instagram profile to see a live demo how this can help you get more customers and make more money.
Hey, this is Achickwitbeatz. I am a multi-genre music producer and strategist to indie artists and labels. Visit my website, Achickwitbeatz.com, for resources for artists and instrumentals available in various genres for songs, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, themes, TV, film, commercials, and more. Once again, that's Achickwitbeatz.com, ACHICKWITBEATZ. Let's make something happen.
Hey, another segment. This is the segment, the one we're just all excited about. Well, we're excited about everything. But this particular segment, we've got our guest with us. And today, our guest is a man of many, many means. He's known throughout the world as what would you say?
An entertainer.
Okay, he's known throughout the world as an entertainer, and he's a man of many means, as I said. So without any further ado, and looking at all kinds of other adjectives and so forth, let's let him tell his own story, bring into our show the one and only DJ Q. And Q, how are you today, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Okay, now you've got a vast background and growing up and what you did as a young man, a grade schooler, and people that you rubbed elbows about and rubbed elbows with. Okay, so let's start right there. Okay, the evolution of DJ Q, starting from a kid. What was that like?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York, from immigrants from Panama, country of Panama. And, my influence there, I had a dad who was a tailor, mom who was an educator. As a matter of fact, she was an English teacher. So sometimes you hear me talk and I sound like I'm rounding off my vowels and everything, it was just coming up as a child, I was corrected a lot. I took an interest in music in my early teens. I had an uncle who was a jazz connoisseur. Had another uncle who listened to a lot of calypso. And as a matter of fact, when I started taking an interest in playing records, he actually went and purchased some equipment, DJ equipment. I told him about it and he went and purchased it. And I would get invited to the adult parties, and he would say, they called me Hubie as a kid, hey, put Hubie on, let him play the music. And, I'd be over there, a room full of adults, and at the time, the turntable was above the other one, not like it is today, where it's side by side. And that's how I learned the art of DJing and actually playing music for an audience. Once that started, I also took on an interest in, with the advent of hip hop and making beats, just like your co-host, Achickwitbeatz. I started to learn how to create beats, and very rudimentary. It was just kind of, a little Casio keyboard back in the day, and we didn't do the audio connections that are done today with MIDI and things of that nature, or digital. It was just, very basic, very rudimentary. And as the years went by, I learned a little bit more and ended up booking some studio time. And I was actually originally a rapper in New York, in Queens, New York is where we moved to. And I grew up there with some of artists like LL Cool J, Run DMC, Jam Master Jay, Davey DMX, just some of the influences that I had as I was growing up. Moved to Atlanta probably about 27 years now, and had given up on trying to be the hottest rapper in the world and making beats, and got into the corporate world and raised a family of 3. During that time, I was approached by someone here in Atlanta, in my early days in Atlanta, asking if I knew anything about music and playing records. And I said, yeah. And this guy bugged me for probably months about it. And he says, listen, I don't want you to play anything. Just come on out and see what I do. And I hadn't touched a record or anything. Again, I was raising a family. My 3rd son was born after we moved here. And I was really focused on just being a parent. He gave me an opportunity to come by, and it all just came back. I was hooked again. And when he asked me if I would be available to cover for him, that was it. That's all she wrote. I started at a bowling alley out, I want to say Lawrenceville, Georgia. One of the managers in Marietta came by and heard me play and said, hey, can you do that over here? And I had to split myself into 2 different places. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And before I knew it, I was working a full-time job. And some weeks, 5-6 nights a week, I was spending on you name it, the north, south, east, west side of Atlanta, 3 a.m, getting up and going to work, and just something I didn't expect that would happen until a point where I saw where it was lucrative enough that I could take that on full time, where I had enough of a client base, I had enough of an interest where, even to this day, I don't do a whole lot of marketing because I'm one guy, and with the client base, there's more than enough to keep me busy. And at this point, I added on, since COVID hit, I've added on the title of actor, which was something that I did during our lockdown with the few roles, background featured roles that I could get. That was a suggestion by my wife at that time. And now, in the last couple of years since COVID, I'm kind of doing a balancing act because I found something that I kind of like doing in addition to the DJ. So again, I'm trying to balance those 2. That's pretty much where I'm at today. Working as an active DJ, one of my biggest clients is Six Flags over Georgia. I handle all of their marketing events, corporate events. Some of the companies that I work with, Home Depot, Kroger, I work for Macy's, just, on a corporate level, promotions, marketing promotions. I'm the guy that comes in, plays music, I make announcements. So I'm leaning more towards that, still doing private events, some of the milestone, 50th, 60th. I've done a 80th birthday party, believe it or not. So that's kind of where I'm at today with it. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty eclectic.
Thank you. I mean, it's funny you say that, because in order to perform in that environment, you have to be what they call an open format DJ, which basically means that I can adapt to most genres. If you needed some Spanish music, one of the things I did this year was Viva la Fiesta for most of the early summer. And these were events that could last up to 7 hours long, and I'm playing, Spanish music through the entire time. Never playing anything English. I've done Haitian events. I've done the Calypso, which is my roots. Traveled around the United States actually. Pretty much, I tell people from Maine to San Diego to, just kind of making my way around, making the rounds. So
that's awesome.
Thank you. So that's kind of the thing. And now I have taken on probably another hat, which involves working on the actual production. Being that my wife is an actress, she's also a writer with the Writers Guild, and we have worked together on set, and I've been the sound guy. I've done this, sound, what would they call that officially? Audio guy, whatever it is. So we're looking hopefully in the next couple of weeks, months, to shooting our first couple of shorts, her and I, and going through and doing the casting. Some of the things that we've learned, we're going to apply some of those principles and do our own thing. She has a production company. I also dabble in editing, which, if you look at some of my social media pages, you'll see some of those videos pop up with promotions for certain things, marketing for myself. I kind of have my hand in a little bit of everything. So, it keeps my overhead costs down. I have the creative control, which is great, because as you probably know, that CueVisions, that when you're in control, you get to do what it is and hear and sound everything coming from your brain and not someone else. So you have that. Yeah. So that's keeping me busy as well.
That's an exciting feeling, especially to be able to collaborate with your spouse and work together on that level. That's really, it's a blessing. Yeah. It
is. And, of course, we get on each other's nerves every once in a while. She has, it's funny, we're both creatives, but then, we don't always see the vision the same way.
Right.
And, what I'm learning is, as she's big on the astrological. She's a Leo and I'm a Taurus. So. Oh,
okay.
I gotta, as she says, meet her where she's at. It's exciting. I gotta tell you that is probably up there in things that I love. The excitement that you feel when you've got an idea or you've got a concept and you have somebody that lives with you and you can sit down and talk for hours and hours. We do every morning, like before she leaves, before I leave, we have this whole conversation about just life and the ideas that we have, the projects we'd like to work on, some of the people, that we like to work with, that kind of thing. So it's God has been good. It has been a very blessed experience. I would have to say the last 10 years have been great. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, now.
Okay.
We've interviewed a lot of guests, but and I've said this in the past to other guests, but the way that you subtly came in the set today, and once you began telling and sharing your story, you're inspiring a lot of folks. Okay, just by your story alone. Okay, and your history and things like that. I mean, we're hey, right now we're actually going to have to add another peg onto your schedule because we've got to have you. If you came in the door like this, then we know periodically we got to have you back. Man. Wow.
No problem. Would love to.
Just to share your endeavors and what's going on. Okay, so Now, what's the forecast for the next 6 to 8 months as far as your involvement?
Mm-hmm. The next 6 to 8 months, and you know, sometimes when you talk, you know, I have to be very cautious because it's not a braggadocious thing. It's not something that I look at and, you know, want to shove down anyone's throat. It's living a dream that I didn't think was possible. Okay, it's doing things that I do to earn income because I have a light bill, a gas bill, a mortgage. I have things that everyday people have, and sometimes when you look at some of the more famous people, it doesn't come across that way. You know, the people out here that have that kind of money, and you know, they don't. It's almost like they don't have a normal, regular day life. I put on my pants one leg at a time, just like everybody else. I'm saying that to say that it's like my 9 to 5. You know, when I worked in a cube, when I worked in an office, it's the same thing. The difference is that I enjoy what I do, and I was given an opportunity. Someone said, hey, you know, try this. And I liked it. So to get back to your question, what I'm trying to do now is, and again, this is since the lockdown and COVID, I'm trying to improve myself every year. Every couple of months, you know, I look in the mirror and say, what are you going to do, man? You're not getting any younger. I set goals. Sometimes I'm aware of it, and sometimes it just happens, you know. But I am looking at the next God spare and God willing that I can surpass what I did in 2023. And I have to say it was a pretty decent year. And it continues to be, but I'm looking at not going back to a dark place as I was in COVID, being locked down. As you can imagine, see, I pulled all my hair up my head. But at the end of the day, just trying to at least match or improve, expand, you know, potentially train some other DJs to kind of step into where I was doing all the performances, so that I can maybe kind of oversee my company. GetDJQ.com, by the way, it's my company's name, to expand on my company so that I can maybe reach out. There's some potential for me to work in other states more frequently. So I'm going to look into pursuing that. Sharing, key thing for me is to share the what and the how. How did you start your company? How do you book those events? How do you set your price? What equipment do you use? Teach me how to DJ. Those kind of things I think about. I've done a little bit of all of those, but I'd like to do more of them, so that, I know it kind of sounds cliche or maybe a little bit corny to some people, but I like to have a legacy that doesn't just involve my passing something down to my kids. I would like to know that I've helped some people get a leg up, that they're able to improve their own lives because I've helped contribute or teach them some things that they can use and better their lives. I wish I had more people. Breezy is one of those people that I met just the other day, Sparks. I just wish there were more people like that we could put our heads together and contribute more to our race and to our culture, more positive, you know. So those are some of my goals and aspirations.
Just that trio you mentioned, that's an incredible brain trust. I can only imagine the stuff that would be birthed from the three of you guys getting together and chatting. So yeah.
Yeah, but see, there's another component. That's you. You're sipping, but that's you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, look, hey, you know, we're pretty laid back, but you know, the clock on the wall is staring at us and everything, and time just happens to just fly. Okay, but you know, I planted a seed of well, here we are. It's December. I planted a seed of having you come back. You know, this can be an avenue of education. You know, for you, there's people out there that are eager, seeking to learn some of the things that you have spoken of, and so let's, you know, have you come back periodically with the education and you know, just see where that leads. Okay.
It'd be my pleasure, man.
Okay, so now where do you want people to follow you to keep up with you? And you gave out a website. Can you give that out again? And any other media links, social media links that you want people to keep up with you on?
Okay. Most importantly, and where my priority lies is in my website, which is www.getdjque.com. It's spelled GETDJCUE.com. That's where I post flyers, events, where you can actually contact me and book. If you have questions regarding my services, you can contact me through there, and I promptly will respond. Social media, I don't do a whole lot on social media, but I do have a presence, primarily Facebook, under my government name, which is Hubert Husband, HUBERT HUSBAND. On Instagram at the H Husband. And my IMDB, of course, is my name, Hubert Husband. And that's where you can find out information on some of the shows that I'm in, some of the things that I may or may not have up there that are coming up. Might be just some pictures and stuff. But those are my ways to track and get in touch with DJ Q.
GetDJQ.com. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
well,
sir.
Look, you know, we're going to wind down, you know, with the time we have. A Chick with Beats. Any thoughts about meeting DJ Q today and, you know, on what he has to share?
Just that it was great to have you on the show. Really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and wisdom and your experiences, and looking forward to having you back from time to time, just like Breezy said. I think, you've got a wealth of knowledge that we would love to know more about, and I'm sure our listeners would as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to it. And it's great meeting you as well.
Okay, well, it sounds like a wrap.
All right.
All right, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you for joining us. We thank our home stations, Grander Radio out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Sparks Radio out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's just been a blast, and I always look forward to this time of the week.
Yeah, it's really, really swinging. Hey, you know, time flies very fast, and sometimes it flies by faster than we are aware of. But you know, it's all good. A lot of positivity, a lot of education has been brought to the forefront. That's for sure. Okay, so you know, folks are saying that they're growing with the statistics and so forth, and becoming more aware of a lot of things going on in the music industry that they previously may not have paid attention to. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. All right. So till next time, you know where to find us. Same time, same place. Tune in, tell a friend. We'll see you then. Peace.
Peace.